Alright, so I just kind of wanted to go over my trades today and why I took them. Um, I took 2 trades on ES and also some on NASDAQ. I might do in another video, but for now, let's just focus on ES. So my first trade, I took this fib tool and drew a fib. Come on. From the high of yesterday or pre-market to this pivot this morning. And I seen the 61.8 level here matched up with some of these bottoms here. So my target was right here. So I took that trade right there to get profit on this pullback. Now my stop loss, I would have had just above here, like 3,991 or 2, somewhere in there. And so give me, what is that? 88 to 91, 34, 5% stop is what I like. That way I can make a 2-to-1 profit, risk to reward, excuse me. So that was the first trade I took, is that one. Another trade could have took is when it bounced back here, came up, liquidated all these, whoever took this trade short, liquidated stop losses up here if they weren't out. And that's when the market makers took it down. A lot of times what happens is if there's a pivot, people grab that first pivot like I did, put their stop up here like this. Market makers will push this back up, take out them stop losses to liquidate other stop loss position to get in big, and then they'll ride the big wave down. So sometimes that second test can be pretty good. So that would have been another good trade. Sometimes I'll take is the liquidation grab. That's what I call it. And you got a big flush down here. And I probably would have covered somewhere in here around the bottom. So those are 2 trades there. I took that first trade. Let's remove this. Another trade I saw that I didn't take because I was on NQ on another trade was this here. This retracement back to this area would have been a good trade long. Didn't quite hit the 61.8, but it would have been close enough to get a starter position. So that could have been another spot to go long. As far as the second trade I took my fib extension, went from this high to this pivot low and to the very pivot high here. And also I had another area from when I drawn pre-market on the hourly, a fib from yesterday's low to this morning's high, and the 61.8 level came right here to this 100% area. I'll zoom in a little bit. So that kind of made me interested in a trade. You can see the trade a little bit better on the 5-minute that I took. I actually took the trade a little bit early here. We've been on the bottom of this candle here. I took the trade and got some profit up here. Looks like we went up, came back down for another. Looked like they tried to liquidate it here and came back again. And now it looks like it's trying to reverse and pull back up. Yeah, like on my fib extensions, I like to see the price get into this area close to the 100% or the 110%. A lot of times I'll put my stop loss down below the 110% area. And it's even better if there's a 61.8 here. Let me get rid of all these drawings. So that there was my second trade on here. Got that scalp, got this scalp. Another thing I was watching as far as trend, let me go back to this hourly chart, was I had drawn a trend. Let's draw this back and across here. Actually, I'm gonna drop this just a little bit. Kind of somewhere in there. I was actually watching for this. I wanted it to dip and retest this trend line because we see it broke out of this hourly trend on good volume, made new highs. What we want to look for is make new highs, and we're like, here was some good resistance that it made new high. Came back and it's coming down, and we'll probably see a retest on this trend at some point. And that would be an area you could go long. Let me just draw a fib on here. Let me see what it looks like from here to here. And you can see that fib lines up with that trend line on this hourly. So that there would be a A+ setup if you wanted to take a trade on that. Didn't quite get there today. By the time I was ready to quit, we might not get there till Monday. But that's something I'll be watching. Another thing I'll watch here is a retracement from this high. If we make this the low, this 39.79 could be an area to watch, or even this 50%. So you can see this 50%. We put a price line here. Lines up with these two tops, which will be resistance. We see we broke the resistance, broke back down below it. And so it's going to come back and retest as resistance, probably at that 50% area. Could be a possible short entry to go short there. So basically what I like to see is just double confirmation. We got resistance here, prior resistance. We broke below it. There's a 50% fib there. Just makes for a double confirmation. That's what makes an A+ setup. Same with, if you would have gone, if we go here to here, and we got that trend line, 61.8 fib, that would be two confirmations. That's when you wait for your sniper entries. Better risk to reward. Let me just show you one thing as far as stop losses. If I took an entry here, I would just have a stop loss just below here, below this trend line, 61.8. So if it does try to break below some, I'm not too close where it stops me out, but where it, I don't lose a whole lot. Get rid of all these drawings. So that's pretty much it on ES. Let me just show you a little bit what I look for on SPY, because SPY and ES a lot of times will coincide together. Let me just add another chart to this page. And I'm going to put SPY on here, clean this chart up. I don't like to have anything on my chart just in the bare minimum. So we're going to look at SPY. 5-minute chart. Head off here. And so you can see ES, basically, or SPY follows the ES, however you want to say it. So you can see we both have the tops there, tops here. So a lot of times I'll draw my SPY levels. They don't all the time match up, but a lot of times if they do, it's double confirmation. So I'm watching my SPY and my ES. You see here we hit the 61.8, same as on the ES over here. Same spots. We got that there. Let's see if our extension works. Okay, yeah, the extension works pretty good here. So them are areas I'm watching, and also when I'm pre-market finding my levels, I'll mark out all support and resistance on SPY itself, especially when I'm playing options. Just real quick, we can see there's a level right here. You see it went through the 61.8 on that area. Let's drop from this one. Basically, if the 61.8 fails, go to the next pivot. And you see from pivot here to pivot here, we hit the 61 exactly right there. So 388.48 would have been a key area. I believe I had shown that. Let me put I didn't realize we got down that low. Let me put my trend line on here. Sure enough, that was there I was looking for, 388.70s. Looks like we touched it after I quit trading. Yeah, we can see the same retend trust, I can't talk now, trend line retest here, and we're on the 61.8, 388.50 area. 50 to 70 area is kind of what I was looking for a bounce. Got here right now, it's, what time is it, 12:20? Yeah, it looks like we're bouncing off of that. So that would have been a good A plus setup here if you wanted to go long for a bounce. Kind of waited on that all morning, but never got there. What did ES get to? Yeah, I was looking at that 39.40 also, which could have been a good bounce, same place. So let me just clear out all this. I just don't like my charts messy. I like to see what's happening. This didn't hit the trend, did it? Because it hit that trend pretty close. Could have had another trend here. So yeah, it hit that bigger trend line. Yeah, SPY was a little more cleaner on that. But yeah, just an example of what I look for and how I base my levels, off SPY levels. Also, we're going to have some resistance in this area, or support in this area, back in this area. Where's my drawing tile? Not popping up, but anyway. Yeah, so we'll have resistance in here, close, in here, somewhere in here, and at the very low. If we zoom out to the daily, we got very low here. Let's just throw a fib on there real quick. From very low here to the very high here. So yeah, here's going to be pretty strong. Here's 61.8 level and the bottom of this last low. So that's, as far as the daily level goes, this is going to be very strong, 375. Be something to watch in the future if we push back down. As you can see, we're making lower highs all the way down here. So as of right now, we're still in a downtrend, even with the huge run yesterday. You just never know in this market. So anyways, let me get rid of one of these charts. Go back to this. I'm going to talk a little bit about stop losses and risk to reward. Why I don't like just to jump in any trade anywhere. So, say for instance, I got this level right here. I go short, I want my stop just above it a little bit. So I'm going to put my stop. We got 38 or 39.89. We'll put it at 94. Yeah. That have my stop somewhere in here. Say roughly. So say I got 4 or 5 point stop to make a risk 2 to 1. I'm going to know if I have 5-point loss, I need to make 10 points down below. So if I'm in at 89, I need 79, which is right in here. So I need to make that. That way, I only need to be right half the time to make money, and not even that. Versus, if I'm getting in short already when it's already gone, I'm going to want my stop loss above this pivot, because we could just range up and down and hit my stop loss before it actually gives me what I need. Also, if I have it here, I got 15 points up to there, and so I'm going to need to make 30. You can see it doesn't make it. It would have came up, stopped me out. So that's why I like to kind of get in right at my areas of resistance or support. As soon as it gets there, like a sniper, I'm waiting for my target area. As soon as it comes into my sight picture, I'll execute, have my plan ready for my stop loss, and let it go, which is my hard part is letting something go. A lot of times I see these candles, I'm like, all right, that's good enough, let's get out. But that's one thing I'm working on, is holding runners longer, because that's the key, is not holding your losers longer, but letting your winners run and cutting your losses fast. And that's where getting in at good spots, even if we got to wait 10, 15 minutes, an hour, it's better to get quality A+ setups and have a little more confidence in your trade, and not just getting in. Don't look at the small picture. You can be like, okay, I'm seeing something here. Is it going up or is it going down? You need to zoom out. Look at the big picture. Pivots, 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 pivots. We're seeing all this. Those are what we're looking for. We're not looking for this small time frame, pivot here, pivot here, pivot here. There's tons. You're going to be in and out of trades too many times. You want to look for the major pivots. Boom. Wait for we get to a bottom somewhere, like a pivot here, and you definitely reversed here. And so we're looking for another pivot. So then we can draw our fibs from our major pivots. We don't want to be drawing fibs from these small pivots. We want major time frame pivots. I like to use the hourly, and you can see stuff. As far as intraday, sometimes it happens in the first 15 minutes, and you got to draw your pivots then. So that's kind of what I look for. I just like to look at the big picture. I think that's all I'll go over on this video, so I hope this helps, and I'll see y'all later.